Okay, so everyone in Hollywood seems to be talking about Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. Their on-set chemistry for their new movie Wuthering was apparently so intense that it's kicked up all these rumors about her marriage to producer Tom Ackerley. So what's really going on? Is this a real-life drama, or is it something else entirely? We're going to look at two completely different stories that have come out of this whole thing.
And boom, here it is. This is the quote that really set everything on fire. According to some sources, the connection between Robbie and Elordi is not just for the cameras. Nope. They're saying it's a real-life thing that could actually be ending her marriage. I mean, that is a huge allegation, so let's get some context.
So you have to ask, was the marriage already in trouble? Let's look at the claim that their connection on set was just the thing that lit a fire that was already there.
At the center of all this, you've really got three main people. Of course, you have Margot Robbie, the star and a producer. Then there's her husband, Tom Ackerley, who's also a producer on the film. And then, smack in the middle of it all, is Jacob Elordi, her co-star.
So what is all this evidence for a supposed on-set obsession? Let's really dig into the specific moments and quotes that got everybody talking about this incredibly intense connection.
Well, apparently it started with Elordi just always being there. Even when he wasn't in a scene, he'd just be on set, watching her. And people there said it wasn't just, professional curiosity. They described it as him being laser-focused on her, almost obsessively.
And this wasn't a one-way street. Not at all. Robbie herself admitted that whenever Elordi wasn't around, she felt really off, even a little lost. And these are her own words. She said their dynamic had become codependent. I mean, that is a very strong word to use.
And from Elordi's side, the admiration was just as intense. He straight up said he was completely enamored with her. He called her an elite actor, and you could tell he didn't just see her as a coworker. He was totally captivated. Okay, this is where things get really complicated. So, it's Valentine's Day, and Jacob Elordi fills Margot Robbie's entire hotel room with roses. Now, his story is that it was a method acting thing. He even signed the note from his character, Heathcliff. But for a lot of people, especially her husband, you could imagine that felt like it crossed a major line.
And this is where the line between acting and reality just seems to disappear. Elordi talked about these moments on set where he felt like they actually were their characters, that they were, in his words, a part of their love for real. I mean, that suggests an emotional connection that goes way beyond just playing a part.
So that is a very compelling story, right? A real on-set affair. But what if it's just that, a story? Let's look at a totally different theory, that this is all a carefully planned performance designed to sell the movie.
Right. To understand this other theory, you have to know this term, showmance. It's a classic Hollywood move. You get two co-stars to pretend they're in a relationship to create buzz for their movie. The whole idea is to make the audience believe the chemistry is real, so they'll run out and buy a ticket.
And don't think this is some old-school tactic. No, this is a modern marketing strategy. You create this whole narrative about a profound connection on set, and it makes the audience feel like they have to see the movie to see what all the fuss is about.
But okay, if it is a stunt, why would they risk all this drama? Well, according to this theory, the reason is pretty simple. There is immense pressure for this movie to be a huge hit.
And here is the key piece of background info. The production company that Robbie and Ackerley run was tied to a recent movie that was a huge box office flop. I mean, it cost $40 million and barely made back half of that. That kind of financial failure puts a massive strain on a company. And that strain wasn't just about the money. Reports claim that the whole thing led to finger-pointing and blame games between Robbie and Ackerley. The source even says that this is the kind of professional crisis that can absolutely destroy even the strongest relationships. Which brings us to the really crucial point. Wuthering Heights has to succeed. There's no other option. With their company, and you could argue their marriage on the line, the theory goes that a headline-grabbing showmance might not just be some slick marketing trick, but something they feel they have to do to make sure the movie is a hit.
So this leaves us with two totally conflicting stories, both built from the exact same set of facts. Is it a real affair, or is it just rage bait to get publicity? Let's just break it down side by side.
On one side, you have the whole real connection argument. You've got the mutual obsession, the quotes about being codependent, the big romantic gestures, and getting lost in their characters. But on the other side, you've got the marketing ploy theory. This says it's all a planned showmance, driven by serious financial pressure. That they're using rage bait,
You know, sensational stories made to get a strong reaction online, to make headlines. And if true, it's a strategy that's also deeply disrespectful to her marriage and family.
And that's really the question, isn't it? Is this a story about two actors who got in too deep and blurred the lines between fiction and reality with some really serious personal fallout? Or are we all just watching a masterclass in modern movie marketing, designed to play with our curiosities just to sell tickets? The truth is probably somewhere in between, but it really makes you wonder how much of what we see from Hollywood is ever really real.